Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of David Rides a Trike. And yes, I'm David and I am riding a trike. I'm not currently riding a trike, but I will be shortly. I am stationary right now because I am doing a video today about 5 of my favorite things about what I refer to as my trail. There actually will be a bonus 6th thing, but first, excuse me, a little introduction. If you're familiar with my story, there is a skip intro link down in the description below. If not, please listen for just a couple of minutes. I make videos trying to motivate people with chronic illnesses and disabilities to get outside, find some fun form of outdoor exercise, because doing so can be therapeutic, both physically and mentally. Being outside in the fresh air feels good and it's fun. Just be careful if you do have a chronic illness or disability. Make sure you get clearance from your doctor before you begin any kind of exercise regime. Personally, I fall into both the chronically ill and disabled categories. I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic when I was 1.5 years old. I had a pancreas transplant when I was 41 that cured me of diabetes. I have had 3 organ transplants total. I am legally blind, completely blind in one eye and don't see very well out of the other. I've had stage 3 cancer that was successfully treated with surgery and chemotherapy. And I've had more surgeries, procedures, and hospitalizations than I can even begin to count. Currently, I am fighting stage 4 cancer that has spread into a lot of my body, including my lungs, which is why I keep coughing. And I am undergoing chemotherapy, trying to keep all these tumors at bay. As I said, today we're just going to go for a ride, and I'm going to talk to you about 5 things with one bonus thing that I really like about my trail. And to do so, I am going to switch cameras so you could get a better view of the trail. You could see it instead of me, which a couple of viewers suggested last week. They suggested in a more friendly manner, but it was basically, let's see more of the trail and not your ugly mug. So I could take a hint when I get it. So give me just a moment so I could switch cameras, get things turned around, and we'll be on our way. All right, we are on our way. So first of all, you may have noticed that I kept referring to this as my trail. And I don't mean my trail in the sense of legal ownership. Rather, this is where I do 95% of my riding. And it's usually one of the only trails I ride during the year. I do manage to make it to another trail or 2 during the summer, but that's the exception to the rule. So I do refer to this as my trail, but I am happy to share it with anyone who wants to use it. All right, 5 things. First one is the proximity. This trail is 1.1 miles from my house. And as you noticed in the opening clip, I can get here very quickly. Obviously not as fast as the time lapse that I use, but it's a quick, easy, and safe route. And I am exceptionally lucky to be able to have a great trail like this so close to me. I don't drive, I can't drive, so getting out to ride other places means someone either has to pick me up or somehow or other my trike has to be transported to another spot. And because it's a trike, even though it folds, it doesn't fit in every vehicle, so that can be difficult. Plus, I don't like to depend on other people to have to follow me and my trike around. So, number one, proximity. Couldn't ask for anything more. Number two, the beauty of the trail. As you can see, it's really quite amazing. Most of the trail goes through forested sections like this, then you'll come to a little clearing for a while. As you get further north, it becomes more open plain-like. But for the first about 20 miles going north, it's like this, forest and open area. And you'll see there's a couple of little open areas that we'll go through here, and then we'll come to one that's fairly wide open. But, hello. Hi. Can't say enough about how beautiful this trail is. And that leads to number three. Part of the reason it's so beautiful is because it's so well maintained. Big kudos to Lake County Forest Preserve of Illinois. They're the ones who are in charge of this trail. It runs, I believe, 33 miles through Lake County, and they take great care of it. The surface is crushed limestone. It's easy to ride on. When it rains, it drains very quickly. There have been many times I've been out here literally a day after we've gotten an inch and a half of rain, and the trail doesn't look like it's taken on any water. There might be a couple spots where there's a puddle, but that's about it. Number four is, even though we look extremely secluded, the entire trail has great cell service. Now, you might be saying, well, what do you need your phone for? You're trying to escape. That's true. I'm talking about needing the phone for, or in case of an emergency. And that has happened to me before. There's one spot that has an underpass, goes under a very busy road, and it's very steep in turns, and no matter how many warning signs there might be, there's always people who go flying down it. And several years ago, I went down and I saw a girl who had crashed. I don't know what happened, but she was laying off to the side on the rocks in great agony, moaning and in a lot of pain. And fortunately, I was able to call 911 with no problem and get the paramedics out to get her attended to. So when I say cell service, I'm not talking about being able to check my Facebook page or anything like that. I'm talking about needing to be able to make or take a phone call when you really do have to do it. Number five is that even though we look extremely far removed from everything. There's my, I seem to often get my bike computer talking to me while I'm doing it. Even though it looks like we're very far from civilization, we're literally maybe a quarter mile away. I'm going to stop for a second just to show you how quiet it is, other than that plane going by overhead. But it's very, well, it gives you the impression of being very secluded in here, which is great. And that leads to our bonus thing that I like, and that is it's very easy while riding in here to escape. Escape, meditate, whatever you want to call it. It's quite easy to let your mind go, just pedal along at a gentle pace, and a lot of tension and worry and negative thoughts truly do flow out of you. That's part of why I always say I always feel better when I get back from a trike ride. I feel reinvigorated. You know, and I mentioned this before, there's been a couple of times when I've been riding and all of a sudden I'll look around and go, how did I get here? And I can't remember passing certain areas, and it's not that I'm getting older and losing it. You might think it's truly just your mind goes. And that's what meditation is, getting all the thoughts out of your head. And this is a great way to do it. On your left. Hello. So, those are my 6 things I love about this trail. There are, in reality, many more, along with the trail being always in great shape. There are quite a few bathrooms, certainly not luxury ones, but they do have facilities along the route. There is water, you know, pretty much everything you would need is here. And because we're not that far from civilization, you're never more than a couple of miles from, you know, a gas station with a store if you need to get something to eat, anything like that. So that is it. Well, I think I'll just continue here for a little while. That is it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, give me a thumbs up down below, and I will see you on the next ride. Bye-bye.